What's going on to you, Aries? How y'all doing? That's my dog in the background there. What are you doing? Anyway, so you Aries have the three of Michael, King of Ariel, and then you Aries have the change your life. By the way, if you want to get a personal reading from me, come through and get it today because tomorrow I'm gonna be swamped with a bunch of stuff I gotta do. Clean the cat litter. Gonna go ahead hook my dog up some more. Clean my room. Not that my room is filthy, but make sure that my room is clean. Make a bunch of videos for the next day after that. So yeah. Um, so yeah, come through and get a personal reading. So the three of Michael, the King of Ariel, and the change your life. So what I'm saying here for you Aries is that some of you Aries are looking to potentially go to a different place. There's traveling involved. The three of Michael, the King of Ariel, and the change your life is exactly that. It's you kind of being nervous to change where you're um, coming from and where you're going to know that things have changed this drastically for you, right? And you're nervous, but you're excited at the same time. You're nervous because you're excited, and you know that you got to let go of certain things, and that's part of what makes you nervous. The King of Ariel represents this is something that you've probably thought about for a little while, and now you Aries have the actual money to do it. So there's a sense of you Aries thinking about you're thinking about moving. So it could be moving from out of the place to a different house, different apartment, different part of the city, out of the state, out of the country. There's a sense of I really get that there's a sense of you Aries trying to move, and that's what the change of your life is about. It's about the life changes that you're going to make, especially if you leave the country, right? And so the Knight of Ariel and the Four of Gabriel right here speaks to how you Aries, you're like I said, you're here comes the sense of nervousness. Either this or some of you Aries may be getting married, right? Like there's a big there's a big life changing decisions. The marriage, moving out of the country, some sort of it could be any one of those. It could be the combination of those. It could be you Aries having a big plan and having the money to do it, or making some sort of large investment, something like that. But the Four of Gabriel right here represents being able to kind of another aspect of it is that you could potentially be the one that provides for your family. They may not necessarily have the mind for it, but you do. And so now your family is put up. They don't really have to work anymore. But I also get that there's a sense of like you're worried about what other people will think. That's another reason why I think that it's like either some sort of investment, marriage, or leaving the country is because of the changes, the sacrifices that you Aries will make in order to get to said place. And so and to actually embody the change, right? To actually make the leap for the change. There's a sense of there are some things that you're going to have to let go of. If you legitimately want to get into this, you're going to have to dive right in. The Knight of Michael, the Two of Ariel, and the Five of Ariel speaks to how other people are kind of tight. They're kind of upset about this. They're kind of upset and she wanted to go. Yes, she wanted to go. But they're kind of upset and kind of mad at the or upset at the fact that you Aries want to make this decision because they see it like you Aries don't know what you're talking about. But they don't understand that you Aries thought about this decision for a long time. And this is right off of the back of the emotional issues that I was telling y'all that y'all were learning how to work out. And it's these types of changes that I was telling you about. The clip off is no joke. The clip off is no joke. I'm trying to actually buy the book because I talk about the Zoatia. I'm actually trying to buy the book. The book is rare. It's one of the rarest books in the world. So, and I know this because the book is like in the thousands. The book is $2,500. So if you have a Zoatia and you do not care and you do not care to keep it, or you don't really care one way or the other, please send me the book. I will definitely hold it in my personal book collection. It's called the Zoatia, Azoetia, the Zoatia, written by Andrew D. Chumley. But or if you want to buy me one, again, I'm not telling y'all that you have to do that, only if you want to, right? Then 100%. But the book is like $1,100, somewhere around there, $800 to $1,100, and that's on the low end. And so basically they talk about it. You know, when you get out of the clip off, you will be surprised at how much things change for you. A lot of things change for me. And that's why it is that you got these certain situations. This is spontaneity. This is stuff that you knew, but you didn't know. Meaning that it's coming so quickly, but it's something that you may have thought about, but you Aries may not have necessarily known how real this thought was and how serious this thought would have been. Now you Aries got out of the clip off because you learned to work out these emotional issues that I was telling you that you have. These are some of the things of what happens to you when you get out of the clip off. When I got out of it, I learned how to be a lot more relatable. There was a point in time where it was hard for me to relate to other people. Now it's easier for me to relate to people because I understand the underbelly. I understand what's really going on, right? Prior to 2019, and I've talked about this, prior to 2019, I was able to get along with people, but it was harder. It was much harder compared to now, because even though I could get along with others, it was much harder because a lot of people wanted to deal with their issues. There's been many a times I almost had, I'm telling y'all, hard knock coming up. There was many times, great times. There's many great times too, right? There's many great times that I had, right? A lot of laughs, a lot of movies, a lot of family time. But there was times too coming up where I almost had to fist fight individuals because they sisters said I said something about them and lied when I didn't. So the point that I'm trying to make here is, though, that added to some of the lack of getting along with others. But when I got out of it, I learned how to get along with people a lot easier, because now I'm able to relate. I'm able to talk to people. And what it ended up making, what transformation I ended up doing was, I ended up being a lot even more likable, because I ended up learning how to communicate using my words a lot better and telling people straight up what it is, to the point where I'm making people cry because I'm so straight up. But I'm not disrespectful with it. I'm just telling people what it is. But I ain't even realized that I had that much juice. I didn't, up until I started to see them cry. And then I was like, okay, I gotta and I'm not saying anything to them disrespectfully. I just didn't know that I had that much power, though. So one of the things that I had to understand is I do, though. And I really had to look at that. What's happening here with you, Aries, is y'all got out of the clip off, or the clipo, whatever you want to call it, because there's many names. And y'all essentially have decided that you may need a change from your environment. And again, all of these things could happen when you get out. Whatever you need, whatever improvement you needed to make, that's what the clip off was doing to you, spiritually, miraculously, as it is that you were working through these emotional issues. So one of the emotional issues that you were working through is maybe the place in which you may lay your head down every night may not be satisfying to you anymore. So like I said before, you working over one piece of trauma, it was like a domino effect where it knocked down all the other dominoes to where now maybe going to a different environment may have been one of your lesser worries, but it was still a real worry to you. You worked out some of your family trauma or your relationship trauma, and again, it's like dominoes that you stack right next to each other, and like when you flick it, right, when you flick it or something happens, they all come tumbling down in a pattern form. And so that's what's happening here with you, Aries, right? Like you got over whatever emotional issue you had with one thing, and then it started to knock down and open the door for all the other things. Your mind started opening up. So now you, Aries, came to the conclusion that, maybe it is time for you to actually start living in a different place. And you have this person who is completely upset or disappointed in you. So it could be a family member. It could be even you being disappointed at the environment where you thought that being in this particular place may have been good for you, or and even if it is like a marriage, you thought that being single would have been good for you, but you realize that you love this said person that you are about to marry, and other people may be tripping and may be upset at you because they're like, how could you be getting married and all this other stuff? How could you be in this deep with this person? And the solutions, the last two cards in the main board are the solutions and the ace of the ace of Michael. And the solutions and the ace of Michael represent, this is something that you thought about you thought about seriously. So it's not that you're just making a very rash and stupid decision. No, you, Aries, legitimately thought about this, pondered this for a little while, but only until you actually did the emotional work is when you actually started to understand this is what's right for you. So my suggestion to you, Aries, is to take a little bit more time to really be able to articulate verbally why you want to make the moves that you want to do, whether it's getting married or move or start up a business or invest in this or do this or whatever. Really take the time, right? Like me, I can tell you why I would want to move over to a different country. Now, granted, I'm working it out in my head because I'm not an expat. I don't want to be an expat where I give up my rights, my birthright that I have here in America, right? I'm not doing that. So again, through process of timing and thinking about it, I'm not an expat. So then what will I do? Am I going to actually like expatriate to a different country? No, I'm not giving it up. I'm still Moorish American. The American part is not going to change. But at the same time, what exactly is going on? Well, how am I going to make this thing work? And so what am I going overseas for, right? Well, I've already worked out a couple of things. If I go overseas, I'm not going overseas just for the sake of trying to get married, right? If I do go overseas, it's something where I love the meditative Asian culture, right? The Buddha, not saying that I'm a Buddhist. I'm not a Buddhist, but I'm saying like I love the serpent, the dragon type of stuff. I like the meditative mosques or the place where you can meditate and stuff like this, and the architecture. So I would like to spend part of my time over in Asian countries, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm an expat. So it's more so in a sense I'm still working out the logistics of what I need to do, and then I need to get my visa, and I'm not really quite sure on how to get my visa. So I'm still trying to figure out, because this will be my first time traveling by myself, and I'm still figuring out the do's and the don'ts and getting my bread together and stuff like this. So yeah, so let's clarify some of the cards. Let's clarify the solutions. So that's one of the things that you Aries got to figure out. Like, you got to take time to think about what decision you're going to make, because this is a big decision before you do it. That way it's calculated. It's not just, You know this is what you need to do, but you don't know how. And then you jump into it with no preparation. So let's clarify the solutions. This is not one of those things. Some of those things you can, but this is not one of those. You have the Hierophant, the Four of Swords, the Nine of Wands. Up. Let me clarify it again, because Taurus got that same card, the same card. So to clarify the solutions, we have the Six of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, Strength card, and then you have the Temperance, which is the same thing. So these four cards right here for you, Aries, speaks about how it is that you, Aries, the Six of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Strength card, make sure that what move you make, it's something that you thought out, you love to do. You're not going to go back to, because this will be a potential long-term or permanent change. So this is why you want to think about it, right? Like for me, when I decided that I wanted to go overseas, that I was a passport bro, I had enough, and I really thought about it, because, and I'm still working out the logistics in that sense, because I realized that if I was going to have if I'm being transparent, if I'm going to have a child, if I'm going to have a family, I don't think personally it can be in the States, because what it is that I'm looking for, that love, I'm a hopeless romantic. I got Aries, I have an Aries moon. I'm a hopeless romantic. Like, I'm not one of those type of individuals who want to be in relationships where there is no love, and we're just looking at it like duty, and they have a duty to do this and they have a duty to do that. It's like, I want a good mix of, I'm in love with her, but at the same time, she's not an individual that's putting all this pressure on me and not doing anything. And like, you know what I'm saying? And I want someone that likes me, but also wants to contribute. So like, a lot of the times, like, I don't feel like that, because the emotional baggage, the issues, they don't see the bigger picture a lot of the time. So, and a lot of them are like that. And I'm not over here trying to tell people what they're supposed to be and what they're not supposed to be. So at that time, I had enough. And so now it's just a matter of me getting the bread, because I got a few more things that I got to do. Getting the bread, and then after that, really going out and doing it. But I'm planning this. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. I'm at 22,520 something. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all, so you can be notified whenever I drop my videos. I'm so thankful to get to the 22,500. We're growing so fast. Thank y'all very much. Appreciate it.